We are live, and Dr. V is about to lose his life. It's me and Dr. V, who may be underground next Easter Sunday, meeting somebody else. I don't know. Okay, let's tell you something. He's always the expert. I tell you, he's great in fantasy football. I tell you, he's a great psychiatrist. I tell you, he's a great friend. He's all this, but man, stay away from him when he tells you to rock and roll, because all he wants to do is have action. And we thanks thumbs up and gone. Because we got the action, and we sit there and we go, wow. And then we're playing. So I said, just do this. This is what I said to him. Just do this. Good morning, Spartacus. And he goes to me, okay. And I send it. I do it in caps. Do it this way, just this way. Do you think he listens to me? He talks through me. You would think this guy was Donald Trump. He did what he wanted to do. Good time. He did what he wanted to do. And I've had nauseated the rest of the morning. And I came in like ready to rock. And he throws this at me. And I go, oh, my Lord. It was
I've been on a losing streak, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, I was hot. He pulls me in. Hey, it's like a drowning person. When I was a lifeguard, they always taught you on Red Cross, if the guy's drowning, go out near him, but not that close, and let him get all tired, then bring him in. Not me. I went out, he took me and he pushed my head right down. Okay. And I became the drowning person. I'm happy you're enjoying that, Dr. B.
No. Oh, man.
Yeah. Don't give me a thumbs up on that one. Okay.
Oh, man.
Okay, let's
I'll get it back with the Masters today.
Yeah, I don't play golf. Well, you better get it back and put it in there. Guillermo,
everybody.
What's happening, Guillermo? Okay, did you see Bill Maher? Did you see Bill Maher? What did you think? What did you think?
It's interesting. So number one, I've heard from other people who've also said that in person, Donald Trump is a pretty charming person.
He is. He's great that way.
And he sounds like he's interested in what people have to say. And I'm trying to understand what his issue is. That it sounds like he's a guy who wants to be liked, wants to be, have people respect him and that sort of thing. And I wonder if he does put on some act when he's in front of a microphone, in front of crowds.
He was, Guillermo.
So, I mean, that's all fine. But the problem is policies still hurt people. And so I'm not going to attack him personally. It sounds like he's got his issues. Unfortunately, his issues affect this country. And that's the problem, is that the way he behaves is hurting other people.
Well, look how he's destroying the economy, okay, Dr. V? And we've been talking about this for the longest time. It's definitely de-evolution. You sit there, yeah, Bill Maher was honest, Guillermo. I watched him, but he was charmed by him. He said he was charmed by him. And I'm sure that Trump is a really charming person and can sit there and do it, but he's a power-hungry guy who's just out looking for issues. And understand we are. Let's look at the economy. Weeks ago, he's telling everybody, we're going with this tariffs. We're just locking them on. There's no question. Everybody's killing us. This is the way it's going to be. The only way we're going to do it. And then he turns on our friends. He turns on who used to be our friends. He turns on those who used to be our friends and allies. I call them acquaintances now, because that's all the president likes, their acquaintances. And he turns on him and hits everybody with tariffs and says it's on for good, sends out his crazy man to say, it's always going to be that way. We don't have to say names. We all know who we're talking about. And then all of a sudden he pulls back. Why? Because it appears that the rest of the world got smart. What everybody forgets in this country is we don't live alone. We may be surrounded by Canada and Mexico and east and west with the water, but we don't live alone. And we sell our bonds to everybody. And people buy American bonds because they know the bonds are good and they're going to be paid. What appears to have happened that night when Trump pulled the move the next day and the market started getting crazy was that Japan was selling our bonds. Japan's the largest holder of our bonds. Okay. So Japan was taking our bonds and dumping, I don't know why, it could be the wrong word, was selling some of our bonds into the market. By doing that, they were forcing up our interest rates because there was no demand. They're dumping it into the market and forcing up the interest rates. Who's going to buy it? Who trusts us? When that started happening, with the market already having its gyrations, now we're talking a week or two ago, not the other day, with the market already having its gyrations, he had to back off. All of a sudden, the next morning it was buy stocks. It's a great time to buy stocks. And he's doing everything because he had a problem. The Japanese were selling the bonds. Now take a step back. Who else owns incredible amount of bonds? The Chinese. We have to deal with them, and they've really gotten the best of us in negotiations over the years. But the issue is everybody keeps forgetting as we keep talking, we were the big guys. We had the biggest economy in the world. We had the best economy in the world, the best military. We were the most respected. We were by far the most respected, okay? But China buys chunks of our bonds. So if we really just start whacking on them, all of a sudden, they will probably start selling some of our bonds into the market. Some say they won't, but I think they will. So what happened this weekend, Dr. V? This is what happened. People got to think about this. This is no jive, guys. He comes in and he goes, hey.
Spartacus, great point.
It is. He comes in and he goes, I'm pulling the tariffs on the electronics and everything, right? Well, what are the major tariffs on China? Electronics, iPhone, TVs. This is what we were yelling about back in December, saying it's going to go up in price. People are out buying this stuff. So that's what he did. So he, on his own, getting nothing in return, Donald Trump, absolutely nothing in return, pulls these tariffs off of it. So he takes care of it. I think it's cool. NVIDIA did their thing, Jensen Huang, whatever. I think that's his name. And you had Apple got their thing taken care of. And Dell got theirs. And Hewlett, those stocks will probably go crazy on tomorrow. And then you sit there. Yeah, it's real here, guys. And then you sit there and you go, wow. They were all sitting with President Trump at the inauguration, weren't they, Dr. V? Absolutely. They all gave like $1 million, didn't they? Sure they did. So you're looking at this. This is how our economy is being run. So at the same time, China's got to be looking at this and going,
yeah, I know.
Wow, they gave it to us and got rid of the tariffs so we can sell our stuff to you, and we didn't have to give up anything. So look at what a horrible negotiator Trump is. He's sitting there acting tough, and when he did all this, not only did China make him look bad on his own, Japan made him look bad, the rest of the world made him look bad, and then the stock market made him look bad, so he had to turn it around. You got to remember, his Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, was saying before this whole thing turned around, people don't need cheap stuff. Remember, he was saying, it's cheap stuff. Now, all of a sudden, all Americans need their cheap stuff, right? Because you weren't going to pay $3,000 for an iPhone. You weren't going to have, as Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, said, millions of people screwing in screws to make the iPhone. I mean, what a joke. And Timothy, you're right. And we're neither respected nor feared anymore. We're the laughing stock. And I think that's what's really starting to happen now, is that we're turning into a laughing stock. Because if you're on the other side and you see this, you go, the man's going to give in to us. What do we have to do to make him give in? So China didn't do anything. Japan pushed down the bonds. Stock market pushed down, so he got the stuff up. Our technology stuff is now, we're not going to be able to make money on that. What's next? Has he helped our farmers yet? That's got to be next, Dr. V. And let's get beyond the farmers, who are so important. They are so important. But how about John Doe LLC down the road who owns a
Mhm.
little company on the corner or a little restaurant or something, or somebody whose company depends on overseas for a part or two, a small company that can't go anywhere else to get those parts, that could end up having a real problem, that ends up raising prices or can't go anywhere. Why? Because they can't afford the lobbyists. Those people can't take $1 million and put it down and show up next to the president. They can't do it. Understand what's going on.
Yeah,
Timothy,
there you
they
go.
should be. They should be. And you're right, Spartacus. He is horrible for small business because small business can't afford to make him rich. Small business can't afford to sit next to him and get his sons involved in major crypto deals that are coming up. Small business can't let him get his meme coins and make all that money. That's not what small business does. But everybody seems to forget it's more than small business, because when this all starts, I mean, look at how they're all talking about now cutting taxes. Now they're going to cut, supposedly, tips. Okay, we'll see if that happens. Social Security taxes. Where are we getting all this money? I'm trying to understand. You got a president who's sitting there. He's destroying the economy with tariffs. He decides what costs more. He decides what doesn't. It's all a matter of how much you give to him. You got to be a supplicant. It's a matter of how much you give to him so that he takes care of it. Okay. And then you go, now what is he doing next? Wow. How about our clothing? Is he going to do something with clothing to make it easier for people who make clothing here? South Carolina is getting hurt by a lot of this. How about defense? What he should have done, we've been saying this, is he should have focused the tariffs on defense and stuff like that that we need for our security so that we can take care of ourselves and then start growing it here. But to go and play around, he's playing around. He's playing around. He's going to build iPhones here. Everybody knew it was a joke. And remember, we've been saying this for weeks, Dr. V. Please, everybody, look at Just an American Citizen. We've been saying this for weeks, and subscribe. And look at Dr. V, the Joe Talks, who we keep begging for more videos, but we don't get him because he's too busy changing his bets in the middle of the night and doing everything and not listening to anybody and just pulling them down and then smiling, thinking, man, I'm going to have a good lunch next week. By the way, we're going to be on at 10:30 next week for Easter Sunday. So you see this, and we went up, we're talking about you eating. So we see this. But we see these kind of moves coming down, and how is it working? I mean, how much more money do you have to pay lobbyists to go in? You talk about a deep state, Dr. V.
Yeah.
Dr. V, you talk about a deep state, you're paying lobbyists to go in to take care of all this stuff for you. Can it get any deeper? Can it get any deeper? It can't. It's just wow. And now the lawyers, the big firms, are giving them, I think like 140 million in pro bono work. Woo! How much money do these law firms make? He's going to bump somebody 100. I think he said 140, maybe it's 150, somewhere in there, million in pro bono a year to give free work. How much money do these law firms make? They're strictly capitalists. Maybe that's what you want to be, just a capitalist. But you're really a capitalist, or is this really more a communist society, Dr. V, where the guys at the top determine what happens to the guys at the bottom? And remember this, who does pay all the taxes? Regular people. They pay sales tax. Every time you go to the store, you got to pay sales tax.
Mhm.
That's everybody. And pays the same. Whether you make 50,000 a year or you make 5 million a year, you pay the same sales tax. You go to the gas station, you pay the same gas tax. It's the regular people who get hit. Real estate taxes, you go in and you got to pay the real estate taxes. How can regular people afford insurance and stuff? So as this keeps going up and going up, what are you going to do? And then you're right. I know a lot of people went out and bought stuff. Didn't you just go out and buy a couple iPhones,
Two
afraid
two
it was going to go?
two
Tim Cook,
iPhones. Bought
Tim
two
Cook,
iPhones.
Tim Cook should send you a thank you note.
Yeah.
He really should. He sent it to Trump with $1 million, but he should send you a thank you note. Incredible with what's going on with this. It's just wow. It's just wow. I just can't believe this kind of stuff. And you see what else is going on. He's cruised into Social Security and decided that anybody who is an immigrant, I think, is going to be listed as dead in the Social Security Administration. Dead. When you get listed as dead, you're finished. You can't get credit. You can't go on. You can't get your credit card won't work. You can't get cash. I remember seeing a Twilight Zone or a couple of shows when people went out and all of a sudden their existence was erased. Think about that, Dr. V. If they're going to do it to immigrants, who else are they going to do it to? Okay. Who else? If they decide they don't like you and all of a sudden, whoops, by mistake, you're dead and you can't get anything because DOGE went in there and the Homeland Security has now taken these social security numbers and they're going after these people. And remember this too. I keep talking about all the stuff we've talked about. We've been on this, guys, just an American citizen. Please go there and subscribe. Give us thumbs up. Dr. V, Joe Talks one day. And we sit there.
I got a video. Got to post
You
it.
got a video up?
I do. I made 2.
And they're up?
I didn't post them yet.
Well, what good are they?
They're beautiful. Beautiful
What
videos.
good are they?
They're absolutely great videos.
They are. I'm sure they are. We're looking forward to them. Timothy, you're right about this. Doctor, you just sit here and you go, what are these guys doing? It's just a really, really tough situation, Dr. V. And I'll tell you what really is bad. I know I'm jumping because there's just so many things. Is this guy, Mr. Sanchez, is it Mr. Garcia down in El Salvador? Look, what is going on here? Okay. We're just a bunch of, look, the word's in the dictionary, and Doc Schweitzer always told us in school, if it's in the dictionary, you can use it. We're just a bunch of asses because what are we doing? They can bring this guy back. Let's get it straight. We have a contract with El Salvador. This isn't foreign policy. We have a contract with John. We have a contract with El Salvador. The contract says we're going to pay you and you take these immigrants. These illegal criminal immigrants. That's what the deal is supposed to be. So we've taken them and sent down somebody to them who is not an illegal immigrant, who was told he could stay here, who is working and has a family. And they go, we can't bring them back. What do you mean? You got a contract. Didn't Kristi Noem go down there and try to look all cute and everything down in front of the prisoners and down there? Doesn't Trump talk? Isn't the president from El Salvador coming back here to see, coming over to see Trump? What's going on? You make a call, let the guy out. You know what's going to happen. When they let him out, okay, yeah, it's real easy, Guillermo. When they let this guy out, they're gonna lock him up here again, and they're gonna find a way to get rid of him. They'll give him some type of due process. This guy's finished, okay? But why are they acting like this? What do you look like to the world? Does it no longer look? I'm sorry, John, I was looking to pick it up, get to you. Does it look good? Do we want to look like asses to the world? What are we proving to the world? What are we saying to the world? We used to be that great country. Yeah, we made lots of mistakes, but we used to do it. Joseph, that was, you're talking about the other guy there. He's talking about Mahmoud. Is that his name? Mahmoud?
Right. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm
the
jumping in and out.
Guy.
I apologize. Yeah. Well, that's a different issue there than I was talking about, the one where the government admits we're wrong.
Yeah.
It's inexcusable. It's one phone call, put the guy on a plane, bring him back here. He's here. We look like asses, okay? And we're wrong. And just like when we threw tariffs on our quote unquote friends who are no longer our friends because Trump doesn't believe in friends. And just because we did all nobody's going to like us anymore. That's the whole bottom line here. We can never trust people to not sell our bonds on us. That is the sword of Damocles.
Yeah.
That is the sword of Damocles. You guys got to understand that. These guys own our bonds. If we put them out there and want to sell them and they don't want to buy them, what are we going to do? And we've always thought we never had to worry about it. And right now we're still the biggest market. But if you chop down, it's like a tree. Chop, chop, chop. It doesn't come down at once, does it, Dr. V? Chop, chop. You just got to keep chopping away. When you chop away, Dr. V's thinking about something. You can see I know him. That head just starts, well, he ain't listening to me. Something's going in there. Chop, chop. That's what's going on here, and that's what the problem is.
Yeah,
We are
there's
not
some good
wrong.
discussion
It looks
in
like
the
it.
chat here.
It looks like it.
We have
Say,
some
Joseph.
Trump supporters in there they're talking about Trump derangement syndrome again, and that sort of thing.
Cool. Let me jump into the mosh pit.
Democrats are losing their minds. It's
I
mostly
love it.
just name calling. It's not
Okay, well,
facts.
let me jump into the mosh pit, Dr. V.
Yeah.
Joseph. No, it's not a matter of derangements. We have taken the position that Trump, at 78 years old, going on 79, with his military parade and tanks coming down the streets in D.C., may be a bit deranged. And people who talk about it, we feel bad about it. But what did he do that was good? What did he do that was good, Joseph? Nothing, really. He's lied about these tariffs. It's on, it's off. He took our economy and pushed it to the edge, and it almost fell over. What's so good about that? I don't know. Please tell me. John, for employees will be highly robotic. Of course it will, John.
Oh,
Of course it will. Forrest, I'm no demo rat. Well, I'm not a rat. I don't know if I'm a demo. I don't know
Devo
what I
rat,
am.
maybe.
A demo? No, I'm not a demo because we're dealing with Devo here. Let's get back to it. De-evolution, Forrest. That's what's going on. We're going back to being snails with little tails, okay? Because we're going backwards. We no longer have a system. We no longer have friends that like us. We no longer have allies. We don't have anything like this. There's nothing new. So what? Nobody knew he was going to try to destroy the economy, Forrest. He didn't get up there. He got up there and said he's going to drop the prices immediately when he went in. Prices have gone up. He said all this was going to be, all the wars were going to end immediately. Really? Ukraine just got hit by Russia again yesterday. 32 people got killed. Where's the peace, Forrest? Where's the peace in
30
Gaza? I'm
day
sorry.
30 day
I'm sorry.
ceasefire.
Samuel,
30,
it did. You don't think it never? Oh my God, I'm sorry, Samuel. It came close. That's why everybody came on TV and said, if you don't do this, President Trump, and pull back, we're in trouble. The market was down 3,000 points. It was in big trouble. You're so wrong. I'm sorry, okay? Forrest, I talk facts. Joe's agreeing with me, which is nice. Give me some facts, Forrest. It ain't comedy. It's the truth. The Comedy Act, unfortunately, is our president who likes to do things like this, so he's always on TV. Samuel, I don't sound delusional. I'm not good looking. I may look delusional, but hey, I respect you for what you are. Will, we respect you. Timothy, thank you. But what's still up 89% overall? What's up 89%? The market? No, the market's down.
market's down.
Gadag, Trump. I'm happy we have a lot of Trumps. Jewel, what has Trump done that's doing
Yeah,
great?
just
Please.
tell me what you're
We want to
happy
hear it.
with.
Say it, Joe.
What
Give
are
us
you happy
great.
with?
Right. Okay. Just because he's following it step by step, John, it didn't say there he's going to bring down the economy.
I thought
Come
he said he
on.
never read it during the campaign.
Right. You see, he never did even know what it was. He had no
What's
idea, which is when he pulled his Sergeant Schultz. I hear nothing. I see nothing. But he always says something. Julier's done a pretty good job at the border. Okay. Waffle, what you doing? I'm not looking. Look, Forrest, I took the position, as Joe knows. He was more focused on the stock market. He'll tell you that. Checkmate. We were with you. I'm not into the stock market that much. I just don't. I mean, following it. My focus is the economy. Yeah, the market goes up, the market goes down hard, and interest rates are up. Why are interest rates up? Tell me. Try to think about this, guys. Those of you who like Trump and MAGA. Why are interest rates up? They're not down. Hey, but remember this, if I may say, because it's funny. Not funny. How many times have I put up videos, Dr. V, on just an American citizen saying interest rates ain't coming down? For the last 2 years, I've said it, haven't I?
stagflation?
For the last few years, say it, Mark. For the last few years, I've been saying inflation is going to go up. We didn't need Trump. You just see it. And he talks, they talk, there it is. And here we are. Okay, this isn't something new. We called it years ago on Just an American Citizen. Go on there and subscribe, comment, show me where I'm wrong. Go into Dr. V. Joe Talks and put in there, We hear, Dr. V, that you had 2 great videos coming, and I'm typing this in, and we can't wait to see them.
Oh,
Dr.
you'll be
V,
happy.
maybe it'll rise on Easter Sunday. Maybe it'll rise on Easter Sunday. What do you say,
This is
Dr.
Holy
V?
Week. This is the time to get the videos out.
Bars, mortgage rates are like 6.8, something like that. I've said that it may go down a quarter or whatever. That's nothing dropping. They've gone down. The long-term interest rates, the 30-year and 10-year, are going up. Look at the numbers. You have to look long. You can't just look at it day to day. They sure aren't going down. And if they're going up, that means we got a problem. And the 401ks are hurting. Tariffs only work to protect an industry. You're right, John. That's the problem. You focus in, you jump them, you say this is where we're getting hurt. Take it and do it. But why are we just jumping everybody? Then think about what a joke we look like, Chris. Give us some help, Chris. Please, Chris, give us some help. What? When Trump was in, it was 2.75. No, that's when Biden was in. I didn't.
So
I
I
know
mean,
that.
here's a point that people need to
That
keep
was
in mind,
Biden.
that the Fed
Gary,
will reduce interest rates when the economy is tanking. So during COVID, to keep the economy stimulated, the Fed will reduce, particularly, what is it, what do they affect? More the
the Fed
3
funds
month.
rate, the Fed funds rate, which is
The,
short term.
yeah, and what's that, over 3 months or so, or
Yeah, it really it really has more of an effect overall because it works its way out through, but it's more like a year, 2 years that affects all
one
that
2 years?
stuff.
Okay, and
Yeah.
then when you borrow money for a mortgage, that's more 15, 30 years, and that reflects if people think there's going to be inflation or not. And so we're in a really tough situation because there's concern about a recession in which the Feds will want to lower the interest rates,
It
but
was
concern
Biden.
about inflation because they're worried that the price of things is going to go up, and so the bond market is really confused. The long term bonds are going up. Short term bonds may go down temporarily to try and
That's the
ward off a
stagflation.
recession.
That's the stagflation we've
Yeah,
been talking
exactly. So
about.
it's a bad situation.
It's not a good situation. It's de-evolution. Going back, unfortunately, this is just a great album and great music, but you have to use it as the example. We are de-evolving. We are going backwards like little snails. That's what's going on. By the way, we have a great album of the week coming. We've got a great, even Dr. V will stand up and cheer for this
All
one.
right.
But it isn't Pink Floyd. We've got a great album of the week coming up. Well, let me, Jewel, what big picture he looked at? What he did was he put tariffs on everybody who didn't deserve it, and then started pushing, and then said, "You got to give it. You got to take care of us, and all you're doing is kissing my ass." And you got to kiss my ass. Did he say that, Dr. V?
Yeah.
You got to kiss my ass. But now all of a sudden, Charlie Gasparino's the one who showed the Japanese issue. Charlie Gasparino on Fox Business, Fox, Fox. He's the one who came out and showed how the Japanese were selling, excuse me, the bonds, which were hurting the rates, pushing up the rates, and the market went down, and the bond rates went up, and the values, of course, as the rates go up, the value of the bond goes down, which was just hurting big time. That's what started happening. That's from Fox, guys. Excuse me. Timothy, I'm trying to, Forrest, you can't look, they haven't cut it. That's been a long time ago, Forrest. They haven't cut interest
No,
rates in months.
they kept it the same.
Forrest, I
Yeah.
watch this stuff. They haven't done. They're saying they're on hold. Everybody's
Yeah.
betting that it may be another 1 or 2 over the next 3 months or whatever. Hasn't happened, Forrest. Hasn't happened. I'm sorry. Eric. Well, thank you. If you're on our side, I'm with you. The Chinese, he hasn't done anything yet. Samuel, look what he did here. Okay, A1's go for it, A1. But Jules, okay, person. Samuel, look. The bottom line is here that what he did was he put tariffs on all the electronic stuff that was coming out of China. Now he's taken all the tariffs off of them. He did it yesterday. How are you dealing with the Chinese? You're saying to the Chinese, whack, whack, whack. And then you go, oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. And then letting them come on in. What are you talking about? Come on. What did we get in return? It has to be because he's afraid the Chinese are going to dump our bonds. It's got to be because he was afraid maybe they were going to hit Taiwan.
I
It's
mean,
got to be something like that.
Trump's whole brand is how tough he is and what a tough
Lorna, right.
negotiator he is. But what he's demonstrated is just the opposite. When people fight back against him, when they stand up to him, he backs off. And so
Samuel and
the
Chris.
playbook on Trump is going to change. It used to be if you kiss his rear end, you can get stuff out of him. Now the playbook is going to be if you stand up to Trump, you can get stuff out of him. This is a bad situation. The past couple of weeks have been really disastrous for Trump and our country.
Samuel and Chris, just so you know, I saw your notes in there. Go on, Just an American Citizen. I talked about Biden. I wish Joe was with me on all of our lives. You can hear we've been very hard on Biden on stuff. And go back. For years I was jumping on Biden. I didn't think he did certain stuff. Jerry, America, patriots, we're with you, Jerry. We love America. It's called Just an American Citizen, my friend. Thank you. So you look at this. We've been tough on Biden. Biden made a lot of mistakes. He really did. I'm not going to compare 4 years of him to the 3 months we've had so far. But I'll tell you this: the 3 months we've had so far have been disastrous under Trump. Interest rates haven't come down. Prices haven't come down. War's still all over the world.
And
Ukraine's still
made
getting
enemies
smashed.
of our
Gaza's getting
friends.
smashed. What?
We've made enemies of our friends, and they
Right.
may temporarily capitulate on a couple things, but if you get beat up by a bully, you're going to look to get back at him at one point. When you don't have friends, you're at a big disadvantage for the future. You can't
Right.
just look at how people respond now, but how are people going to respond in the long term? And if you
Right.
get people upset, they're not going to be there for you when you need their help.
You're right,
So
Samuel. I don't agree with you. I'm sorry. I see Trump's doing exactly. That's not exactly what
no,
Americans want. I
no.
got friends who are MAGAs, and they say to me, "Mark, it's just going way too far." They're
Trump's
clear
approval
about it.
rating is tanking right now.
Wait, when they're not our friends, Keith. They were. Here goes Keith. I think Keith was started with us last time. Keith, which is fair enough. Keith, they are our friends. We had a pizza pie, guys. We had a pizza pie. Let's talk pizza. Every American understands pizza. We got a 14-inch, then we got a 16-inch because America got the biggest slices of the pizza. I can't do it during Passover. It's all mozzarella. Oh, God, do I hate that. I get this by the end
You
of the
don't want to
week,
make a bigger
Sunday.
matzo pie.
By next Easter, my stomach's going to be this. I'll look pregnant. They're going to go, are you pregnant? Is it true men can get pregnant? I'll go, no, it's all mozzarella milk. Oh, God, I hate that stuff. Look. Some guy, I think we have to understand how people feel. I just love going. Some people, only 6 of us.
Sam
Samuel,
says
got
we
10
only have
upvotes.
6 upvotes. Come on, everybody. Give us some
Give us
upvotes.
some
Show
upvotes.
Sam it's wrong. He's wrong. We're up
Right,
to
and
11
understand
already.
this. Right, and understand this, guys. You're looking at these comments. We're wide open for the comments. That's why we're entitled to the upvotes, because we don't, thank you, Guillermo, because we don't care if you agree or disagree with us. We want you on here. We don't care if you're a MAGA. We don't care if you're British. We don't care if you're Italian. We don't care if you're Southern, Northern, whatever. We love you. Look at the name of my channel, Just an American Citizen, guys. That's why we think we're entitled to thumbs up. This is a free speech live stream, wide open for 2 guys who don't take anything personally. One guy who's constantly called the pillow guy, and I've gotten over it. I mean, you have stuff like that, okay? We don't care, but you can say what you want. We don't care if you disagree with us, and that's why we're entitled to thumbs up. Most others aren't this way. We get bummed. We see people jumping people and starting. We jump them, right, Dr. V? You see his eyes? He's looking in. If somebody's really starting bad, we're going to just say, stop it, and have everybody look at this. No, we have a really good commentating group here. LL Beefheart, it sure did. We talked about the Depression. How many times, Joe, did we talk about the Depression when he was doing the tariffs?
Yeah.
My parents lived through it. My grandparents lived through it. I heard about it. My grandfather sold individual cigarettes during the Depression. Think about it. He sold individual cigarettes, guys. That's what it was. Now, we're not going to be like that here, but that's what it was. It was horrible. And that's what it leads to, because no longer, when the rest of the world can no longer trust you. Think about it. Let me get back to my pizza. It's always been my position. You get big. Everybody wants, what Trump wants everybody to do is fight over this little 14-inch pizza. Fight. I want you to get this piece. I want this piece. I want this piece. America, what America did for 80 years was they took that 14-inch pizza and made it a 140-inch pizza. And because it got so big, everybody got pieces of that pizza. I want onions on it. I want peppers. And yeah, we had issues. Yeah, they would get a little bit better of us here and there. But at the same time, they were always there for us. We could deal with them. We could call them because they wanted to trade with us, because they wanted to buy our bonds, because they wanted to buy our stuff. And what everybody forgets is when you look at the trade deficit, we don't have a trade deficit. The rest of the world has a trade deficit with us. That's what everybody misses. Why? Because they don't count services in the trade deficit. You know that, Dr. V? So all that technology, we are a
Yes.
service country. All that technology, all those services that we export don't get counted in this. So when everybody says we're getting cheated, how are we getting cheated? They got more people who can turn screws in the iPhones than we have here. Okay, right on. That's not what people are looking for to do in America. Okay, we want to do more than turn screws, I would hope. And that's what's going on with that. They stole cigarette. Didn't a black guy? I'm sorry, Everett. I'm sorry, Everett.
DOGE is a bad thing, so they want to know about that. The idea
What I
of
want to Doge.
trimming fat is fine. The idea of taking a sledgehammer to the issue is not fine. And I can give you many examples in
But Doge, wait a
academia
second.
and
But Doge,
medicine.
Doge has only saved about 100 billion. They said, Joe. They said that from the 2 trillion down, it's only been like 100 billion. Meanwhile, and Joe's going to launch into this in a second. So I say, hold back, Joe. I'm holding Joe back. I'm holding Joe back. What they've done is they've cut in and destroyed research. Hold back, Joe. They've destroyed medical research. Hold back, Joe. I can give you a list of them. Joe can give you a list of them. Our medicines aren't going to be as leading edge. We're not going to be. We have cancer. We got all. I'm holding. Joe's pulling me. I'm about. Joe, I can't hold it back
All
anymore.
right, all
Let it
right.
out, Joe. Go for it.
This week, okay, RFK goes to Texas for a funeral for a child who died from measles. Completely unnecessary. We got rid of measles in
Wait,
this
wait, 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 wait,
country.
wait. Time out. Time out. It wasn't unnecessary that he went. What was unnecessary was the death of the child. I just
Yes.
want to make sure we get that
Yes,
straight.
yes.
Go
The
ahead.
death of the
Of course.
child was
Of course.
completely unnecessary. It's a
Completely.
disease that we cured, got rid of, but because people aren't getting vaccinated anymore, it's making a comeback. And now it's killing people. It's killing people. And now he says, oh, vaccines are good, that sort of thing. No. So now he wants to get rid of fluoride in the water because he says it's linked to autism. There's no data to show that that's true. On the other hand, the fluoride has been very successful to help with cavities and to help with our oral health. He's a pseudoscientist. He appeals to data, but his data is not good. That's why you have to have groups of people who review the data to make sense out of it. He's destroying our academic institutions. He's destroying our research institutions. He's destroying our public health. And you see it in actual physical deaths now. And, I now, to be fair, to be fair, it is true that we need to exercise more. We need to eat healthy. There's just a lot of
Great.
behavioral things, but
That's so
everyone says
smart.
that.
That's really, what do you mean, to be fair? That really is something that we have to figure out, right? Come on,
Yeah.
to be
But
fair.
everyone says
Everybody
that. I
knows
don't know
if you
anybody who
eat
says, no,
well,
you should just sit on your rear end and eat fat all
nobody
day
says
and
that.
carbohydrates. Nobody's saying
Nobody
that.
says that,
Nobody
Joe. Come
says that.
on.
So
Nobody
so
says
it is
that.
important that we pay attention to behavioral factors and nutrition and getting sunlight, sleeping well, and all that. That's all true. But what he's doing is he's not approaching it empirically. He's not approaching it as a real scientist. He's not approaching it with the hat of a public health official who's concerned about the overall health and well-being of the country. And it does make me so upset because our country was doing a great job in helping to promote healthy behaviors and promoting the invention of new medicines, of coming up with the new vaccines during COVID. It was our country who came up with the earliest and best vaccine. The Chinese had to borrow our
Yeah, but you,
vaccine.
but you see what they're doing now. Now he's having with this, what was it, MMR for the measles, whatever. He has some guy who's going to be looking into it to see whether or not what facts they've been
Yeah, does it
hiding
cause
to show
autism?
that this MMR, which is measles, goes to,
Measles, mumps, rubella.
would lead to autism. But I'll tell you this: some people are coming here and going, this is up to parents, up to a point, my friend. These kids live with other kids in school. These kids play with other kids. These people have measles. There's a person who got measles just walking through the airport. They thought some airport because another person had measles because it's airborne. So it's not just a matter of kids because the parents make a decision. It affects other people. It affects other people. So at least let's be honest about this. You decide what you want to do with your kids. But if you don't care about anybody else, you want to get others die, you want to get others who are sick, you want to spread it around the country, then you only care about yourself and you don't care about others. And that's what this country's coming down to. You ever walk past people in the street? Does anybody ever go hi? Does anybody ever give you a smile? Does anybody ever just go, how you doing? I mean, I do it all the time. And maybe I see 20% of a response. Get out of that head. That's what everybody's got out of that head. It's just a real problem. We got to start waking up. It's more than up to the parents. Cindy, it affects all of us, still affect all of us. Waffle Lee still waiting for a sniff. I don't know what you're talking about. John, they don't want it. They don't want our stuff anymore. Who wears a mask? Corrupted? I don't think anybody. Some people may who are Uber drivers and are afraid of people in the back seat. I understand that. You don't know who's coming in. Baldy, I know which one. We're both kind of bald. He's got a little less hair than I got, but Chev, what can I say to you, Chev? How much hair you got, Chev? Give
Hi,
us a
Nancy.
picture. I'd love to see it. Nancy, what you doing? Dolph, I don't know we're all nuts here. But this is like, Chris, you're okay. We don't agree with you a lot, Chris, but you're okay. The thing is, this is what's cool. So you look at this. So we were the guys who ran basically who had the most influence in the world. We don't anymore. We were the guys who could get involved in anything. It would not have been hard to make some calls and make these deals. But what Trump does is he tries to push things to the edge, see how far it can go. This is his history. How far it can go. And if it goes over too bad, he can walk away. But when you're president, you can't do that. Remember, he went bankrupt in Atlantic City. Didn't he have a beef company thing that went bankrupt and liquors and his school and all this? I
University.
remember. It just always happens. That's what he does. He turns it and makes it trouble. Now, also, I want to get back to this other guy. What are we doing? Why are we sitting here and letting this guy stay in El Salvador? Will somebody tell me? Come on, guys. Thank you, Chris. Will somebody tell me why we should leave this Mr. Garcia in El Salvador? Please tell me. We admit we're wrong. We were wrong.
Trump
Why
never
are
admits
we
that he's
fighting
wrong.
this? Right.
To bring him
Why are
back would
we?
be to admit and to
Right.
have concrete example that
Thank
we
you,
were
Drew. But
wrong, and it's apologizing, and he never does that. So people,
the Lunk, he didn't make money. His father left him money. But he's great in PR. I've said that from the beginning. I respect Trump. His PR is incredible. Okay,
absolutely.
Wow. I just really respect him like that kind of. He's
P.T.
no
Barnum.
MS-13 member, Keith. There's been no proof. It's easy for somebody to take a stamp and put MS-13, MS-13. This guy was not MS-13, okay? He isn't a murderer. He wasn't a murderer. It's just really simple. This is easy. And that's not the issue. That will be the issue when he comes back and goes before a hearing for immigration. And you want to argue it then, fine. But in America, you don't just sit there and throw people out. Do you know that the press person for Trump at a press conference the other day somebody asked him, and she said, yeah, we've talked about taking American citizens, what they would call murderers or whatever, and send them out of the country to imprison them somewhere else. So we've got a Trump administration that's talking about taking Americans and just throwing them out of the country. Think about it. Don't walk away from this, guys. Think about it, okay? Chris, I'm sorry she started talking to you. I agree with her. Tell her to listen to us. We're glad to talk to her. Bring her on here. Everybody can think that they're not all MS-13. John, in fact, in that plane, they had women. They had to send the women back because it was a mistake. They were just taking people, piling them on a plane and sending them out and going down for photo ops. But that's not the point. I'm talking about one person. Why does everybody try to get adios, muchachos? You see, this is what these see, John, but we like it. Give us a thumbs up and please subscribe, Just an American Citizen, John, and Dr. V Joe talks and say, where are your tapes, Dr. V? So we're only talking one person here. Why tell me, guys, MAGAs, tell me, why is it? Well, she'll talk, you'll get her back, Chris. I'll tell her to love you. You're a good guy. Look, the kids are different, Chris. Kids look at things. My grandmother, my Nana thought I was alone. Maybe she was right. My mother had real issues. It's just, and my kids think I'm alone, though my grandkids love me because they, for some reason, think I know what I'm talking about. I think it's because I don't smell yet. And it's because I don't get mad at them. It's like Dr. V, look at that face. I cannot love that face. So it'll work through, my friends. Just keep working through it. Don't give up. Don't give up. So we go through this, and here we are, and it's like temporary status. So it's a benefit, right? Ross is hitting it. Ross is hitting it, man. Ross is hitting it. Bottom line, these guys pay into Social Security. Remember we used to talk about this, Dr. V? They're right on this. They're taking these people's Social Security numbers because these immigrants who get no Social Security pay into Social Security. Who gets that money? Americans. They have taxes withheld. Those taxes go to who? Americans. We sit there, I go, wow, don't you see this? Don't people miss this? You're sitting there going, you're raiding money, free money that's coming to our country by taking these Social Security numbers. What are you going to do? Just throw them out? And who else's Social Security number are you going to get? Who else Social Security number? Waffle, glorious leader Biden. He's out of it. A glorious leader. Nobody ever took that position. Now, I want to just get to this. How they get to the number? They went in and got it. Okay. I want to hit something here because I think it's time we get all worked up. We have things happening. We're going to take it nice and easy today. And I'm just going on. Like, here we go. You ready? The album of the week. I don't know what you guys think I'm going to throw at you. It isn't Gigi, though I love old Broadway. It isn't My Fair Lady, though I love old Broadway. It isn't Hair, though I love 60s Broadway. It isn't Devo, though it is We Are Living in the Evolution. It isn't Pink Floyd. I already brought you Blondie. I already brought you Blondie. So you got to start wondering, who could this be? Who could Mark be bringing in here as the album of the week? Then say that if we put it on, it's going to blow our brains out and say, yeah, we got to hear it because he knows what he's talking about. Here we go. Hold on. Jimi Hendrix.
Oh,
you
there you go. Yeah.
Let
Can't
me tell you
disagree.
something.
Can't agree.
Maybe, I mean, everybody has their own favorites, but maybe the best, the debut album in rock history. I saw Jimi Hendrix. I saw Jimi Hendrix with Cat Mother and the All Night Newsboys in 1969. I was at the Civic Center, and the cops wouldn't let us stand up, and everybody's trying to stand up. And my mother, I wanted to pop my mother because I think it was a Friday or Saturday, and they said back then, you can't go downtown, Mark, unless you look good. You know, I had my jeans, or I tried to have my little bandana or whatever. I wanted to look like a nice little hippie boy. You can't do it, Mark. You can't. You gotta look because you're going downtown. You know, we're talking 1960. That's a long time ago. We're going downtown. So the guy I'm going down with, I work it out with him. I take my clothes, I put him in his car, and he taught me how to drive a stick shift anyway. I'm in his car. He picks me up. I change, and then I go into the concert. How can I go into the concert looking like some nerd, some dork? To see this group, incredible. No Redding, Mitch Mitchell. Listen to me. Put this album on. You're bummed, you're not happy, or you're happy, and you just want to just lay back and go, I can't put up with this anymore. No more of the lies, no more Mark and Joe, but I just can't do it. Put this on and listen to it the way Jimmy recorded it. You got side one and you got side two. Every song side one. Oh my Lord, Purple Haze. Who doesn't know Purple Haze? Purple Haze all in my brain. Amazing things we don't seem the same. Oh my Lord, manic depression. That's something this guy knows about. That's what he does. Hey Joe, where you
Yeah,
going with
hey
that
Joe.
gun in your hand? I'm
Yeah,
telling you, you gotta listen
that's
to
good
this.
stuff.
Is this love or is it confusion? I'm telling you, may this be love. That song just rang, very good. And then I don't live the day. Then you go to the other side, to the wind cries Mary. The man plays blues. The man plays everything. Fire. Everybody knew fire. Let me stand next to your fire. This comes out in 1967, the summer of love. This guy burns his guitar on stage. Third Stones from the Sun, another little noise in the background, a lot of guitar. Foxy Lady, who doesn't know Foxy
Foxy
Lady?
lady.
Woo, woo, woo. Come on, guys, you got to listen to this. Are you experiencing? End it with that. Are you experienced? Let me tell you something. This
Are you
is, I love all three of
experienced?
them albums.
That is a
Incredible. Don't
classic.
play an
You're
outrageous
right.
bass. Mitch Mitchell played with them 2 albums. Oh, it's my heart. It's my
That's a good
heart.
one.
I haven't looked at the comments. I don't know what they're saying, Dr.
Oh,
V.
they love it.
Hopefully
They
they're
love it.
understanding this. What?
They love it.
They
Everybody
love
loves
it?
Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, man. Rock, you may be right there. Garbage. Sorry, William. You don't like what we say. We like to break it up with a little music every now and then. You can't stay serious all the time, William. Sorry you're not into it. Daniel, the Trump cult is everybody. It's a cult. It is what it is. If his brain was in his nose, he'd be a genius. Maybe Keith, Kevin, but he calls himself monoxide, right? So how would he know? If he's sniffing monoxide, carbon monoxide, he's got a real problem. So, I mean, he may be laying
Better
in his
than the
car
album.
right
Yeah,
now.
there you go. Yeah.
Uh, Born in 67, love Hendrix, right on Chris. Cult, depends on how you look at it. It's walked down the no change. It's pure. Our boys are growing up, guys like this. No farce. I'm not raising anybody. It's grandchildren, and our kids are pretty tough, and we were pretty tough too, my friend. I don't know, PJR. Did you ever see Jimmy? He changed the world when it came to guitar. He changed the world. I don't know. Chris, good seeing you Wednesday. Don't forget, it's Wednesday at 5 Eastern time. Just America's crosstown traffic on experience. Crosstown traffic. So hard to get through to you. I'm there, Waffle. Crosstown traffic. I don't need to run over you. All you need is slow me down when I try to get to the other side of town. Do I love rock? Do I love rock? I'm sorry, I get worked up over
We
politics.
got to keep people aware what's happened in the rock scene. I understand Brian May came out at Cancello last night, and the crowd didn't even respond to it.
He's an
Freaking
old man now.
Brian May, they come out,
Lead
got
guitar is for
Bohemian
Queen, guys.
Rhapsody, and
Because it's a different world. You just have to accept it. You're either into rock or you're not. It's not. Brian May looks old. I say I'll bring out a Queen. I got all the original Queen albums. The first four of the were great albums. Their first album was incredible with "Keep Yourself Alive" and stuff on it. But they had dark hair. Then they look great. I saw them with Kansas at the Harrisburg, whatever.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
it was
yeah.
junior year. They blew out the right side of their amps. I was so bummed. Queen. Kansas was okay, but I can hear one side. I love Queen. Everybody was giving me trouble. The guys at the house were not into Queen that much, by the way, guys. They were not into Queen, but I was cranking it all the time. Keep Yourself Alive. What a great song. Come on. And then Black and White, the second album. And then you get into the third album with Here I Stand. You go back and forth, and then you go right into Night at the Opera. Four
Hmm,
incredible albums.
that's a
Boom,
good
boom,
album.
boom, boom. And then I lost them. They had some good singles out of the others, but then I lost them, but nothing came close to this. Put it on. Turn it up. Just turn it up. Where we go? Stop watching. CNN's got nothing to do with Hendrix, William. Lay back. We're having a good time here. Lay back. Lee, Queen is overrated. PJR, look, what's great about
Oh my
music
God.
is, listen, what's great about music is you like it, you don't like it. I love that you love music. You know enough to be able to say what you think, and I say right on. Music is just so great. PJR, I'm with you, and that's how we look at it. That's even though I have a real problem with Pink Floyd. But absent
Pink
that,
Floyd's
we
great.
start going, right on. You love the rock segment. PJR, I just try to get into it. How can you not have fun? Why can you not
Queen was
have
great.
fun? That's what I say to people all the time. You know, people forget you get old and then you realize most of your life is behind you. So you can lay out and say what you want, believe what you want, but you want to enjoy every day. Enjoy. You work hard, you got family. You don't realize all of a sudden you're 40, then you're 50, then you're 60, then you're 70, and you're sitting
Yikes.
there and you're going, whoa. And you got friends who are in their 80s, and you go, oh, and you see rock stars dying before you, and you're going, and you see them in concert and they're gigantic and they got white hair if they got any hair. And you go, what happened to my youth? So I look at the old albums and I go, I was young once. But that's what I say. Enjoy it, get into it. Say hi to people. Let people in when they turn on their blinker in the car. Why not do that? Wave to
That's what
somebody.
this country's founded on.
That is.
Freedom,
Quit throwing trash out the windows.
freedom,
Right,
equality,
right.
and being nice to each other. The golden
Being
rule.
nice. Right. Like, let that guy out of El Salvador. Let's just be nice. Just start being nice to each other.
What
I've had
happened
it.
to compassion?
Right. Right. Rick, Rock, we got to deal with, hey, corrupted. You ain't getting me to argue about Metallica. I love Metallica. I've seen them 5 or 6 times everywhere. We can talk about Metallica sometime. Philly, Jersey, Baltimore, DC, Metallica, LA, Metallica. I mean, you're just talking. Come on. Come on. Woo! Incredible. All those first 5. I liked it all
Was.
the way through the Black Album, but my favorite was Justice, just so you know. If you're thinking, and Justice for All was my favorite album, and I enjoyed it. And I saw them do Justice with the Cult opening. The Cult.
Oh, the
I
cold.
think the Cult. I think they were playing Electric, the album Electric. So we had that. You guys get me moving. PJR Metallica was not good. It was great, PJR. It was great. I love their old stuff. It was. What are you going to say? We need our luck, Nelson. Right on, rock. Yes, I say right on, rock. We got a lot of rocks. I remember Rock Hudson. That was the first rock I ever heard. Chris, thank you. You love Elon and President Trump. You got every right to love anybody you want. Rock, we love the song Heavy, You Are All Right. He ain't heavy, corrupted. He's my
Brother.
brother. Listen, guys, bring people on when you see your friends. Tell them we loony. Tell them we just have a good time. Tell them we don't care what people say. We just enjoy having them say it. And we just enjoy doing all this. And we love seeing y'all. So this was good. You saw the Justice Tour. Cult was just great. They were just both, just what am I going to tell you? It was just a great album. Music does make it all better. Here we go. We're going to be rocking Wednesday, 5 o'clock. Next Easter, Sunday, it'll be 10:30. But we're coming on then. I may have some comments if things happen. Please go on to Just an American Citizen and subscribe. Please go on to Dr. V. Joe Talks and say, I hear about these videos. Where are they,
Coming.
Dr. V? Dr. V, you tell Mark to put
They
shorts
coming.
up all the time.
Yeah.
So Mark puts up shorts, and you guys watch almost every day, 2, 3 shorts. I take pieces of this and put them up there. I do it because Dr. V wants me to do it. Dr. V puts no videos up, and something else you got to put on there for him. Where's Lewis?
Where's
Where's Lewis? It's like, where's Waldo? Where's Lewis? He's not holding up his weight, Dr. V. He's just looking forward to that Sunday lunch. He's not holding up his weight. What can I tell you?
Still
Mr.
alive.
Libtard? No, sorry, against the law. Against the law. You can trust him. I don't. But let me tell you this, guys. If it's square, we ain't there. And that's the way it is.
Period.
Where did that come from? Where did that come from?
Well, Walter Cronkite.
No. If it's square, we ain't there. What song did that come from?
I don't know.
I'm in with the in crowd.
Oh.
Huh? Great single, guys. Look it up
There
on
you go.
Google. If it's square, we ain't
We're
there.
not there.
The in
Good.
crowd. What a great song. That's one of those songs where a guy got big with one song and went on somewhere. It's just great. But and that's the way water cracking, and that's the way it is.
Period.
Period. We'll see you Sunday and Wednesday. Love you. Thanks. I always do that wrong and stick my finger up there.